All right, social media land groupies, I got something to run by you to get your brain thinking about something for a minute. Now, we all know they've got these nursing programs out there where you can go and study to be a nurse, and it's about 2.5, 3 years for the program. They train them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's balls to the walls till they're done and take the NCLEX. So they go over all your basics and everything. They hit on all the key points that they got to know. They cram and jam just as much information as they can over those years. Whenever you get out, you can go become a medical professional and become a nurse if you pass that NCLEX. You know what nurses are? Nurses are people who help fix people, just like mechanics, electricians, plumbers, HVAC technicians, all fix things. I mean, you walk in and they say, hey, what's going on with you today? Rate this on a scale from 1 to 10. Tell us what kind of medication you're on. Tell us what's been going on with you. Is this hurting? Is that hurting? You know, they ask you a series of questions. They're diagnosing you no more than whenever you go in and you ask a customer what's going on with their electrical, what's going on with their car, what's going on with their plumbing. And right now they say that we're going through a nationwide shortage of medical professionals and tradesmen. But with people in the medical field, they are in control of your life. They're in control of the medication that you take, addressing your wounds, and you know, any kind of medical problem that you have, they're going to be there to address that medical problem. They're in charge of life or death. And they can go out here and get through a program in less than 3 years and be certified from the state to do so. Now, if you want to become an electrician, oh no, you're going to have 5 years, 5 more years, 5 more years. You're going to have to become an apprentice, a journeyman, then a master. Some similar rules apply whenever it comes to plumbing and a bunch of other trades out here. And quite frankly, plumbing has been around for millions of years. Electricity's been around for hundreds of years. Only in the recent 200 years have they decided, hey, we're going to make rules. We're going to have people have all these rules that they're going to have to abide by and follow. They're going to have all this time, all this training, take all these tests, pay for all this through state certifications, all this schooling. It's all about money, paying the state, paying this, paying that, being insured. Did you know medical malpractice is the #1 cause of people dying in this country? But they're cranking people out every 3 years and putting them into the field. So in my mind, I'm like, it would be less risky to crank out electricians and plumbers and HVAC technicians in less than 3 years. You're going to be in charge of plumbing pipes and wires and stuff like that. It's not like you're going to be in charge of a human being and their life and death. Electricity is just like your central nervous system. Plumbing is just like your digestive system or blood flow. And you can compare the trades to the medical field. You know, not that long ago, less than 50 years ago probably, a lot of automotive mechanics, they go out here and they learn how to do things in the field firsthand. They would learn as they was growing up. They would go out here and work for shops, and they would go to a skilled trade shop. They could go to a school or something like that, trade school. They would ask them, what do you or do you not know? They'd give them a test to see what they did know or did not know, and they would focus on what they did not know to get them in and out and get them trained up on everything they needed. But these days they want those certifications. They want those codes to be followed. And you got a bunch of code Karens out here. Every time you post something, every time you say something, they're a code Karen. Oh, that's not up to code. Oh, code says this. Oh, code says that. Oh, code. I mean, in some states, you're legally not allowed to do plumbing. Like here in Kentucky, you look it up and it says you can't do plumbing. But I know for a fact that there is maintenance technicians all across this entire state who are doing illegal plumbing. Just like with HVAC, you can know how to work on everything. You can work on whatever you want to work on as long as you do not touch that refrigerant. But even if you get certified to touch that refrigerant, you still got some limitations. And most of them revolve around how you retrieve the refrigerant and if you sell it. They definitely don't want you selling refrigerant. They don't want you doing anything that they can't tax and regulate. You know what I think they should do? I think President Trump should listen to this, and everybody in Congress and the Senate. If it's really about helping the American people and you want to do so, here's you an idea. Lubrary of Congress website, the largest collection of information in the world. Why can't anybody who's a regular everyday American get on there and you have things labeled to where I could go to plumbing, I could go to the electrical side, I can go into any category that I want to, and I can study everything that I want to study. Now, if I train myself and I teach myself everything I need to know about those fields, and I go take a state test and I can pass that test, I should get my license right there to do certain things. Now, I'm not saying just give it to them willy-nilly and they go out here on their own. I'm saying, oh, you can pass this test. You trained yourself. You know exactly what the hell you're talking about. So here's you a license. Now, go out here and get so many hours to prove that you can do this work. Or there could be schools somewhere where you go in after you take that test, you get that license, you can go to phase 2. Go into a school somewhere and go in and let them, you know, test you. Hey, I need you to go do this. Hey, I need you to go do that. Let them test you. And whenever you can pass those tests, you get your license. I mean, it's no different than what the medical field is. And like I said, they're in charge of life or death. Why can't that apply to plumbers, HVAC, electricians, automotive mechanics, where you educate yourself? Hell, why can't it apply to the medical field where some of these nursing students or whatever, they can get online, they can study everything that they need to study, every book that they need to study. And if they can go in and take that test and pass it on their own, what's the difference? The only difference is somebody else is getting hundreds of thousands of dollars to tell you to study this, as opposed to you going online, having access to the information, studying it yourself, doing it yourself, passing it yourself. It's all about the control of information. Everybody wants to resell the same information over and over again so the state can cash in on it. These schools and universities can cash in on it. The maintenance trade is the largest trade in the country. It's got more technicians in it than any other. And most of those guys have probably done a ton of work on the side and can probably pass a bunch of these tests. But there's no bridge for them to do so. Me, for an example, you get in your 40s, who in the hell wants to start over in another career? You need to have a bridge to where you can jump from one trade to another if they want to. Because a lot of people were trained for years hands-on. And that hands-on experience and that knowledge is going to go a long way. They've already got real-world experience. Or make them different types of licenses to where if you go in, you train yourself, you educate yourself, you take the test and you pass, you get a certain license for what you know. That way you can do certain things. You know, have a license to where you can go do new home builds, new construction. Have a license where you're certified to do any type of maintenance to an existing structure if you want to. And then once you got people licensed to do it on their own, they could go out here and they could pay the state for the license, they could pay the insurance, but they can go out here and be doing the jobs that we need them to do. If I was in charge of all this stuff, I would be making a bridge and doing something like that right there. Let me know your thoughts about it down below.